So lunchtime, bento is very often associated with lunch. And when we're teaching about something as different as bento, we like to compare it. We like to have something that kids do understand. So we ask people, what was your lunch today? Pat is having a taco. Is that correct, Pat? So you're already eating your lunch and you're having a taco. And as you can see, we have a variety of different kinds of foods that we eat in the States for lunch. Pizzas, muffins, roll-up sandwiches, and all sorts of things, usually sandwich. We are a sandwich culture, not a rice culture. And in Japan, let's see. Oh, we asked, what did you bring in your lunchbox today? So to get people thinking about it, what does your lunchbox look like? And now Americans have lunchboxes that kind of look like giant bento boxes because we eat a little bit more. Our size and portions are larger. So that is reflected in the bento boxes that kids can buy today. And who prepared your lunchbox? Okay, that's another question. And all of these get kids and people thinking about lunch and preparation of food. Here are lunchboxes in Japan. And we like to look at them and kind of notice the differences. Does anybody want to tell me what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you see these lunches, these lunch boxes? You can unmute yourself. You can put it in the chat box. What's the first thing that comes to your mind? What's the first word?
Colorful.
Colorful. Yes. Excellent. Okay, good. Anything else?
Cute.
Pardon?
Cute.
Cute or kawaii, right? Yep.
Yes, kawaii, cute. Yes. Cute. And
we're also seeing in the chat box, fun, visually appealing, oishi, adorable.
Very good.
Varied.
Animal.
Varied.
Yes, and yes, varied. Okay, so when you look at these boxes, you see color, and color is extremely important when parents are thinking about putting together a lunchbox. Very often they say it's the number one thing that they think about when they're putting together the lunchbox. And they use 5 colors, and we'll go to that in a second. There's a variety of food. Somebody noticed that. There are smaller portions, but a large variety of food. And sometimes people spend the time and make it cute. Not everybody gets Pikachu every day. I guarantee you that is not happening. But on occasion that might happen. But people do they make an effort to have the box look appealing. And somebody said that it really looks cute when you're looking at it. And we think of the term meide taberu. You eat with your eyes. And so this is a very important part of having people want to eat their meal, little people. I'm sure people have seen lunches thrown away in a lot of different ways in schools. So lunch boxes in Japan is called bento. If somebody could tell me one other thing that they might notice about this.
It's very sustainable. You're not using a lot of individual plastic wrappings or, like individual containers. It's kind of all cohesive in it to work together.
Yes, that's a very good point. There's little waste in this, very little waste because you're not opening up 5 different types of packages. But it's also compartments. Usually you see, if your kids have the bento boxes that we have now, they're divided by sort of a divider, a plastic divider. In Japan, they tend not to have those. They may have 1 or 2 of them, but they keep food separately from each other. It looks like it's right smack up against each other, but it does kind of stay separate. Okay, so we talked about colors and the 5 colors that are used in Japanese cuisine and throughout other Asian cultures. In China and in Korea, these are important colors, are red, black, white, yellow, and green. It is not like the concept that we used to have of the food pyramid, where a color represented proteins and another one represented carbohydrates. These are a variety of foods, and this cloth was developed by a graphic artist for his 21-year-old son, who was going to live on his own for the very first time. And so he made this cloth for him. He gave it to him and he said, put your plate down on the cloth. And if you have 5 different colors of food, you will have a balanced meal. So, or on your way to a balanced meal. So I found that a very good way to kind of explain how this concept of color works. So some of the foods that are red, you have both vegetables and protein: hamburger, hot dog, tomato, salmon. White foods: rice, tofu, onion, potatoes, daikon radish. Yellow foods: egg, corn, sweet potato. You know, there's a variety of different types of food in each category. Black, which is not a category that we generally have here or think about, but with seaweed, it's kind of considered black. Dark brown mushrooms can be also considered black. And green, all of your vegetables. So this is kind of a thought process that people go through when they put together meals, whether the person is 5 years old or 50 years old. There is thought generally that goes through that happens before one puts together a bento box. We talked about Meide Taberu. Presentation is very, very important. And again, people will spend a lot of time making something for a 5-year-old. And a lot of people might think that's a waste of time, but it isn't. And I see that that's how culture and aesthetics is absorbed. I had to learn this as an adult, and so it was interesting to observe it myself. So Meide Taberu, use your eyes.
Yeah, but we had a question in the chat box. Why isn't there blue in the 5 color scheme? Maybe it's not natural, or I don't know.
I don't, there are sometimes I've seen blue, but I think the green is kind of has it there, and it's not actually a completely natural color for a food, I think. But I don't know that exactly. That's a really good question. I will take a look into it, but I've seen color wheels where sometimes I see blue, and maybe I'll have the answer for you before the end of the evening. Colorful and variety, as we talked, are 2 important things. Tastes, different types of tastes. We have 5 different, flavors: hot, sour, spicy, sweet, savory. So people try to get all those different flavors in the box. Textures: smooth, crunchy. These are things that, so if you had everything that was kind of one texture, it would be rather boring. So people think about mixing up the textures. And of course, nutrition is very important. And as you can see, these are very colorful. Even with smaller quantities, you have satiety. You definitely can feel full because of the variety of foods. Good ratios also that make up good bentos. We have different categories of foods. The grow foods are proteins. Glow foods are vegetables and fruits. And go foods are carbohydrates. And so people think about this when they put a box together. And caution, you may get too much go food, which are all those foods that we like to have. And I never say no, I just say in moderation. So kids get little treats as well. Is this a good or balanced bento if we look at it? Let's check. Go, grow, or glow. Carrots and seaweed, glow food. Omelet, protein, grow food. Edamame and cucumber, another glow food. A rice ball is a go food. And it doesn't just have to be Japanese food. I will tell you, you can have pastas, you can have hamburgers, you can have all sorts of different things in here. It's the preparation and the presentation. Cherry tomatoes, a well-balanced meal in a box. Okay, healthy bento tips, color and variety, taste and nutrition, right size. This is another element which is important. The right size for the age of the person that you are making the bento for. And this is a very serious business in Japan. There are hundreds and hundreds of books on bento that guide parents through this and about how many calories kids should be getting. And very often when you get up to teenage boys, you're seeing multiple carbohydrates in one box because of their energy needs. And good ratio of Go, Grow, and Glow foods. So we are now getting ready to cook.
Yo!